Hi, I'm Jeff Schwartz of Schwartz Performance. This is our August 2015 update. We've been really busy the last few weeks. As you can see, our Pontiac Tempest is up on the lift here, and we've had a lot of events we've been to. Dale most recently was battling for second and third place in the Good Guys Pro class at Des Moines, Iowa with the Tempest. He ended up finishing sixth. He did, however, finish ahead of the likes of Robbie Unser. The 52 Ford that you've seen previously, I ran in the street rod class, and I ended up winning the street rod class by a 5-second margin. So now I'm in the pro class as well. So the last event we just completed was the Carcraft Summer Nationals. We had a lot of things going on there. We had a great time running on the road course of the oldest racetrack in North America, the Milwaukee Mile. The Pontiac Tempest, Dale drove in the Real Street Eliminator Pro-Am Shootout along with Adam Koch with our 69 Camaro that we built for him. And that has a Schwartz LS3, 675 horse, mini tub, and ride deck suspension. We ended up winning the muscle car class with Dale and Adam. And then myself and Dan Howe ran in the late model class, 82 and newer. Dan, his son Josh, just completed a 86 El Camino with a Schwartz G-Machine chassis, and Dan was driving his son's car, and I was driving our Corvette in the late model class. We also won and had the fastest overall times on all aspects of it, including road course, autocross, and the Speed Stop Challenge. So great weekend. Our Pro Builder entry, which you saw last month, the 75 Trans Am, was running neck and neck with two other shops for the lead, and we don't know if we finished second or third, but we were told we were in the top three throughout the weekend. The lead was changing apparently hourly. So thanks to our fans for voting, and you can see that in an upcoming issue of Carcraft magazine. Our Pontiac Tempest has been performing well, but you know, we're in the pro class now and we have to really have our game on. So we're doing a few tweaks here, as you can see, and we'll be testing at Tire Rack and then on to the Motor State Challenge event. The 82 S10 Pickup continues to make progress. We've got our Be Cool radiator in here, which is our standard component that we use for all the builds at Schwartz Performance. And then we've got the dual electric fans, and we've run the air conditioning hose. We even mounted the air conditioning condenser out here along with fitting the grill. There's not a lot of room in these S10s, so we had to massage things to make everything fit well. The 69 Mustang Fastback that I couldn't talk about last month, I can talk about it now. It's been announced. We are building another giveaway car for Raybestos Brakes. It's a 69 Mustang Fastback, but we've already begun fabrication. The car has been mini tubbed. We replaced the rear quarter panels. The car came from Palm Springs, California. It was a grandma car, and it was really clean rust-wise. But she was, I think, a little bit like Mr. Magoo, and she was bumping into things. So the fenders, the quarters, the doors, they all had little fender benders and Bondo and dents underneath. So we've replaced every piece of metal that was damaged with new stuff, and this one's getting a Ford Racing Coyote engine along with a Tremec 6-speed and some really cool wheels and tires. Whenever you replace body parts with reproduction metal parts, they're not always made quite perfectly, so they need a little bit of massaging. In this case, we had to like split the ends and re-weld it to get everything to line up real nice. You can see here we've replaced the taillight panel, both quarter panels, both doors, and both front fenders. So it was beat up pretty much all the way around. And what we have here is the Boss 302 version of the Ford Coyote engine. Can't wait to rip around the road course with this car. We already showed you this 52 Ford pickup that we stretched the cab on, and we were at the Back to the 50s event with the truck. However, there's a few more things to wrap up on it. Interior, and we needed to finish the bed wood that we got for it. So this view here, you can see the Schwartz Performance G-Machine chassis, the Ride Tech coilovers, the Moser full floater 9-inch rear end, and the standard Wilwood brakes, 13-inch diameter in this case, and the rears have a 4-piston caliper. This has all been powder coated gloss black. Our chassis is designed where on this particular application the sway bar runs through a hollow tube here. We have the racing style sway bar with the billet aluminum end length and the heim joints attaching it to the rear end. So when you go around a corner, basically it keeps the car from leaning, which hence the name sway bar. The advantage of this type of sway bar is we have a nylon bushing here, a black nylon bushing. The bar moves real freely, and on a typical stock sway bar application, the rubber is molded around the sway bar, and the sway bar actually has to stretch the rubber in order to rotate. In our application, it's a nylon bearing, so the sway bar rotates on the bearing surface and moves real freely, which actually gives you a much more comfortable ride, along with controlling the lean and handling like a sports car. As with all of the rides, we use either BF Goodrich or Michelin tires. This particular one is a Pilot Sport PS2, and this is a 330/530/18. We finally got the Circle Racing wheels, OE series wheels that we ordered for this, and these have been widened to a 12.5-inch width. They will also accept the factory Ford hubcap, which we'll pop on there shortly. Yeah, we've got a lot of pickup trucks in the shop. Our shop truck, the 52 Ford, and the 52 Chevy. This one's coming along real well. We still got a little bit of interior work to finish up, and we've got the 520 horse Schwartz LS3 in here with a Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. We've also fitted the Be Cool radiator and the Holley valve covers and our custom fabbed air intake tube. The grip forged wheels are on this one, which are made by Forge Line. And then we've got the factory style mirrors. This gentleman wanted the more factory look with the truck. And then it's got a brilliant PPG two-tone paint job. This is that 67 Corvette that we saw last month. It's riding on a Schwartz G-Machine chassis and also a LS7 engine. Last month we were blocking the polyester, and now we've got urethane primer on it. So we're going to break this thing down and then powder coat the frame, and once we mount it all back on there, then we'll do our final blocking and get ready to paint it. On this 67 Corvette, we widened the fenders a little bit. These cars typically you can't fit much tire under them, so we actually glassed on extensions to kind of bulge out the fenders, give it a wide body look. You can see this maintains the original body line, but it gives you a lot more room for tires. About 2.5 to 3 inches wider tire will now fit on here. We also have a lot of convertibles around here. I guess that's because it's summertime. This is another 70 Chevelle we're working on. In this case, we fitted new quarter panels for it, and then we'll have to do the final body work on it and then paint it. This also has a Schwartz G-Machine chassis, as you might expect, and an LS3 engine. This 69 Camaro came into us to have a chassis installed. The customer had it painted at another shop, and after a while we started seeing the paint bubbling up in places, and essentially there's solvents trying to escape underneath there and cause these little bubbles all over the paint surface. So unfortunately we got to take it down to the bare metal and start over in order to make it right and last a long time. Here we have a first generation Chevelle chassis under construction, and we also do special ones. And here is one of those special ones. 1953 Buick Skylark convertible. A very rare car, and we're helping someone build a hot rod out of it. This one's getting a supercharged LSA engine from a CTSV, and it'll probably put out about 700 horsepower. So we're going to make sure the chassis performs up to our usual standard, and it's going to handle like a sports car and ride like a luxury car.